Hello and welcome to the Heretic Mansion, the Shin Megami Tensei Podcast. I'm John, your host.
I'm Neos, but you guys can call me Ant.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Terrence.
I'm Taylor.
And I'm Marcus.
Shout out to Simply Dad.
What the All right. Well, this podcast is certainly not about him and Shin Persona 4 Megami Undertale. But anyways,
The best
Simply
the
Dad's
best Persona
favorite
game.
game.
hey,
I mean, it's going to be a trash can on fire anyway.
I mean, I'm looking forward to Shin Persona 4 Megami Undertale 2, TBH.
honestly, I'm working on a surprise later on, maybe for Simply Dad.
But
Boy.
wait,
I hope he can take it as an apology. He DM'd me on Reddit saying that I memed too hard, essentially. But I don't know if he was serious. I
But-
can never tell if he's serious.
but Ant, was it a surprise drive?
Okay, let's not have some Kamen Rider references in here. Our viewers unfortunately don't watch Tokusatsu. So let's...
Our degenerate viewers who don't watch Tokusatsu.
I
Okay.
say shit, and you should feel bad.
Okay,
Like Patrick,
okay.
just
Okay, all right. We'll save that for our next podcast. Okay, we'll do another Tokusatsu SMT crossover type. Listing the, I guess, similarities or references used in both medias. I guess.
Or you can go to youtube.com/watermelonmedia and find that podcast where we did that.
That too. So there you go.
But instead of finding podcasts, all you'll find is Witcher 3 playthroughs that no one watches, because Witcher 3 is a very bad video game.
Yeah. But in any case, you did not come here to listen to us blabber about things going on in the Megaten community, but you're here for a podcast, so we're gonna give you that.
We're talking
Anyways,
about SMT.
yeah, on SMT topic, yes, I guess. Well, anyways, first up we have the Persona 5 ESRB rating topic we'd like to talk about.
Right. We knew Persona 5 was going to get an M rating. I mean, we all pretty much expected it, and we knew for sure that it was rated M. I can't remember when, but it was sometime last year, but now they just released the full detailed information on the rating and why it got an M rating.
yeah,
And
love
before
and
Peggy
everything.
gives it a 12+.
To be honest, I don't find the ESRB description too spoilery. Though I'd say just read it with discretion. If you try to piece together the things, then you're kind of messing it up for yourself. But anyways, the ESRB rating, the description was graphic, and they had your typical sexual connotations and whatnot, all that bullshit.
What will the back of the box say in terms of the ESRB rating?
It says, on the back of the box, it says blood, drug reference, partial nudity, sexual themes, strong language, and violence. But, I mean, this is ESRB, so
That seems par for the course.
ESRB isn't really exactly accurate with back-of-the-box descriptions.
But yeah, it's basically the spoiler that's in that description that was posted on Persona Central. If a person who had no information on the game whatsoever, not get spoiled. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, that unless you had some prior knowledge, then you could figure out what the spoiler was. All I'm
But
saying.
we're not going to repeat it here.
No.
In these holograms.
Anyways, and apparently in that description, they've said that Persona 5 is going to be dropping the F-bombs, so it's the first Megaten game to do that.
In English.
In English.
The Aeon Genesis translation for SMT1, it had some F-bombs in it, from what I remember.
Yeah, but that's a fan translation. We
Exactly.
don't count that.
So this is the first official translation to have F-bombs in it.
Oh boy.
Edgy as fuck.
Yeah.
Time
So
to put your big boy pants on.
honestly, where Persona 5 stands, it's not surprising. Most of the games prior to it that had the Japanese dub and everything. Of course, there's ways that they've localized it essentially for a teenager demographic, and now to see them step in a realm with Persona 5 where it's pretty much a standard in most mature themed games to use certain words in dialogue and whatnot. I mean, that's good on Atlus, at least. At least they recognize that this game can be put up to with the rest of the AAA titles, quote unquote AAA, because honestly I haven't seen any games worth playing. But hey, that's my opinion.
Side note: Horizon Zero Dawn comes out in like 11 days.
Yeah, like the year is still early.
The thing is, just about every SMT game to be released in North America has gotten an M rating, but they still kind of dumb it down, which I don't understand.
Yeah, there's like most of like they would resort to like most typical English dialogue from what I've seen from SMT4 and SMT4 Apocalypse. They resort to using swear words like bitch, shit, bastard. I don't know. I don't even think
like,
bastard.
There's that part in SMT4 where you're in the you're in the Ashurikai's base, and this one guy's like, "Why do you always have to muck things up for us?"
Yeah, that was really weird. Honestly, though, when it came to Tayama, I felt like Tayama would have been the person to drop all the F-bombs and all that crap.
He's pretty coarse. He's a gang leader and all.
Yeah, so to be honest, Tayama would have been a perfect fit if they were to apply that same logic that they're doing to Persona 5 to something previous. But yeah. Persona 5 ESRB rating. Read at your discretion the article on Persona Central. So be sure to check it out for the full details.
Yeah,
all right.
The article also talks about just demon designs and stuff showing breasts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
which is
just
nothing new.
Just a typical Megami Tensei type of thing to expect. I mean, a lot of people know what they're getting themselves into.
So yeah.
All right, so second topic of the evening, we have John Hardin leaving AtlusUSA as PR manager.
It's very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate indeed.
The thing is, no, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Like, I just remember signing on to Facebook one day, and somebody shared something that said PR manager John Hardin leaving. I'm like, wait, really?
I was really surprised to see that. I was heading over to my next class, and I happened to get a tweet at 2:10, only to read it an hour later that he literally announced that he was leaving, and I was like, oh boy, I should have tuned into this earlier. But yeah, that was kind of just out of the blue. I've seen some NeoGAF. I think I've seen the one NeoGAF post where he jokingly said, somebody said, if Persona 5 gets delayed, I swear to God. It was like, and then he replied to, if Persona 5 delayed, it is going to get delayed, I'm going to quit or something. It was just really hilarious. And he was like, and then he made an edit a minute later after saying that, oh, this is not the reason for me leaving. And unfortunately, that's like disclosed, so we don't know why he's leaving. I'd assume that he got a better position somewhere and he's going to be doing his PR, or not really PR, I guess, but probably a different type of position, I guess, in that department. But he did say in his tweets that he's still going to be around in the gaming industry. He's not leaving it.
Yeah. You think he could have left because he could stand the community?
Well, I imagine being a part of the Sega community in general is pretty toxic.
Yeah, that too. You got to take part in Sega as well, because they've been doing. John himself was doing PR for Yakuza, and that's been doing well, and also other games. So he's got both fan bases on his plate. He's got his DMs open, and I wouldn't be surprised that he would open up his DMs to at least 1,000 plus messages a day. Just random people asking for, review codes for Persona 5, which is really, really stupid in my opinion. Don't do that.
Can you give me a review code for Persona 5 so I can leak it on the internet and everyone can pirate it?
I never understood the whole begging for a review code type of thing. I mean, I get it. Like the big dogs like IGN and Polygon or whoever get a review code early because they're a company. But like when it comes to that, it really just taints on the overall fan base and pretty much our representation to the head. Honestly, John probably deals with a lot of shit, like, Persona 5 babies asking for dual audio and all that. If there's going to be censorship in this game and all this bullshit, it's really stupid because, honestly, when you think about it, he shouldn't have to deal with that in a fan base. Like, he's one guy. He does promotion. So, honestly, like, he's been through a lot, and it's like, even like I've seen him do SMT4 and then Record Breaker, I believe. And by far, SMT4, the launch of SMT4 was really smooth, and the way he did it was amazing. I remember tuning in to whenever he'd upload an unboxing video, and really, he was really the new face of Atlus. Which was great because, like, honestly, the guy was really convincing when I saw for SMT4. Yeah, there's a lot of things I remember about him. Whoever was a PR manager before that didn't really show off themselves too much.
I mean, how long has John Hardin been PR manager?
I think he said around like 4 years, I believe.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. So that's literally what I got from just from his Twitter, and I mean it makes sense because SMT4 came out in 2013, I believe.
Yeah.
So it does make sense. He was probably enlisted shortly after Soul Hackers was released. Probably Soul Hackers released in 2012. 3DS Soul Hackers.
3DS. We got that in 2013.
Yeah.
Did we? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was 2013.
Because I remember
Okay.
I got
Well,
my
I'm
3DS.
probably. Like, here's the thing, because Soul Hackers, SMT4 were really close to each other, so I didn't know what came first.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, the main reason we got it was just to hold us over until SMT4.
Yeah, which was nice. I mean, I think he was PR for Soul Hackers, but honestly, anything before Soul Hackers, I don't think he has done any PR for it. But if he did do PR for Soul Hackers,
that was
okay.
Ram Jabari or whatever before.
I don't even know who it was. What was his name, Taylor?
Ram Jabari, I believe.
Ram Jabari? Okay. Well,
Something like
that's honestly, the guy was really, or was doing the PR at the time, was silent, at least. But John really put himself out there and engaged with the fan base thick and thin, for the most part. And he's been pulling through. Like, honestly, the guy seems really, really chill, to just go out and engage with us, even with like the Mad Mouse and whoever.
He's one of us, basically.
Yeah, basically. It's really crazy, but I'm surprised that he's been able to pull through for this long. But yeah.
Also,
anything you guys want to say about him, or that I missed?
Well, I don't really know much about him other than what you guys tell me because I don't use Twitter. But like I said, he seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
I think Marcus should, like, on the spot, give us a eulogy.
Well,
for his
like,
career.
eulogy. I don't know what you're expecting, but like, yeah, I don't use Twitter either. But from what there is of him, he uses the platform a bit more than like anybody else would, and like you can see him pop up and like promote games like Apocalypse and that. You can see him in the fucking Morgana hat, giving big ups to P5 and that. So
Now,
he does a good job at it. So
yeah, he does a good job.
He's more interactive with the community than most PR
Yeah.
managers.
Yeah.
yeah,
Which
going
I hope-
on to our Mega 10
Yeah.
is, you know,
Like PR managers for other, like, you know, publishers and stuff, like they'll respond to the fans maybe once a day or something like that.
Yeah. Honestly, though, from what I've seen of him, when he was first, you know, his early days, or early years with SMT4, EO, and some other titles that I've seen him do unboxing or actually like talk about, he's done a pretty good job. And like he was really, really like, you know, passionate about, you know, bringing entertainment to every single one, which I thought was pretty cool. Though a lot, I know some people will argue the fact of his professionalism, but I can't really blame the guy for being, you know, if he was to be, you know, a stuck-up person who was just, you know, hey, this is coming out, that's
It's
it,
boring.
and never said anything. Yeah, and boring.
Again, it's like he
I mean-
wouldn't be one of us if that's how he talked.
Yeah, like honestly, like would you rather have a PR manager that's really, really silent, doesn't say anything, is boring as hell, or would you have somebody who's open and engaging and willing to answer questions from fans instead of just hiding behind, you know, something? Like honestly, that's what I've seen from John, and John Hardin. Like he's done a good job. There's one thing I'd like to say about, I guess, his professionalism. It started to drop when Apocalypse came out. Like, we didn't have a lot of, you know, word on Apocalypse. It was more to the point where it was like, oh shit, is this game not going to be released? And it's like, he was really late. He was really, I guess, well, not him, but maybe his team, I guess, was really late to announce that, you know, it's going to be here.
I don't
and
think
what-
it was his fault.
But yeah, I don't think it would be his fault because he's the one who promotes it, right?
Like, I'm pretty sure he has to, like, Atlus has to give him the go and make sure it's okay, and then he'll
Yeah.
announce it.
But if any case,
Yeah.
he's not like a programmer head or anything. So when the programmers are ready to translate, it's that. But yeah, for Apocalypse's localization, it took so long, and it was really, really, it was low quality in comparison to some other localizations that Atlus has done. And I feel like this has to do with them taking up too much on their
TMS was the
platter.
same kind of deal with
Well, here's the thing. TMS was done by Treehouse, wasn't it?
Well, it was done by Atlus,
Was it?
but Nintendo.
I don't know.
They,
I don't
like,
know.
checked it.
Patrick.
Hmm?
What was TMS's localization like?
Okay, wait. What do you mean by localization? Like the team?
Yeah,
Like,
who
who
did it?
localized
Was it
it?
Atlus?
I
No,
read in
it
an
was-
article that it was localized by Atlus, but Nintendo was still overseeing it and telling them
Yeah.
what they could and couldn't do.
Well, yeah. So Atlas was
Localizing
localizing it, but Nintendo was overseeing it.
Was it the Treehouse head or no? Or Treehouse
Pretty
didn't
sure it
have
was.
nothing.
Yeah, well, it was Treehouse was overseeing it, making
Okay,
sure.
that would make sense. Because Treehouse, you know what happened to Fates.
You know what happened to
Yeah.
TMS too?
Yeah, that's essentially what happened. Because here's the thing, Atlus is dealing with an IP from Nintendo, so they gotta follow, right? But in any case, like, Apocalypse, yeah, and I guess you could say TMS as well. They both had crappy localizations, I guess. And I feel like that has to do with Atlus taking too much, or AtlusUSA, I should say, too much on their platter. They started to add Sega games to localize, I believe, and I'm like,
last year, yes, they added
yeah,
Seventh Dragon, Stellar Glow, and I think one other.
Those Stellar Glow got a special edition, which really made me skeptical because I feel like that would have been better on SMT4 Apocalypse per se. A title that actually needed it.
I forgot more stuff with our pre-order. Seeing that
yeah,
we were
exactly.
paying
To
50
justify
instead of
the
40.
price, of what they were pointing it at.
Because again, SMT4 came with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and SMT4 launched cheaper and got more than that.
Well, I don't know in Canada, but in North America,
in
launched
Canada,
for
that's
50.
The inflation.
It was the first Atlas game I remember to launch for 50 instead of 40.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how much I paid for it.
It was the first 3DS game in general to launch for more than MSRP.
Yeah, like that's how much I paid, I believe, around 50, 60 CAD ish. But like that's when our dollar was equal. Now it's not. But like I said, with Apocalypse, I felt like there should have been more compensation. I mean, for a game that's that's literally in pieces, like code wise, like most of it, there's a lot of untested areas in that game, and anything that you try to do crafty can probably screw up your overall gameplay. But it isn't like, prominent. It's minor. Just look out for it. But yeah, honestly, that's the one thing I could just put on him. But I don't think he should be held accountable for that because it's the testers. It's pretty much the people who Atlus USA or the person who is behind it enlisted to do so. So yeah. Anything else you guys want to say about him?
Well, actually, you know how the Atlus YouTube channel started being a meme and commenting on stuff?
Wait, which YouTube channel?
The Atlus USA YouTube channel.
Okay,
they started
that's
meming
something.
And commenting on stuff. Was that John Hardin doing that?
I feel like that was John.
Pretty sure it was.
I
remember the first time I heard about that was when he commented on some guy made a compilation of DSP raging at Persona 3 and Atlus commented on it, be like they were like the salt level is high or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then they commented on the Apocalypse video and was like, in before, where's Persona 5?
Yeah, that's literally what it was. And,
yeah, pretty much.
That was a good times, actually, because that was the first time I'd see Atlus USA break out of their shell, in a sense, and just started commenting on things on various videos. Even if they were on their own videos.
I mean, that's what happens when you've someone like John Hardin on PR.
Yeah, but
we don't know for sure that it was him.
Like,
it was.
Well, even if it was, it's like almost in a sense like that dude who runs the Sonic Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
Oh, that's also a meme.
Yeah, but honestly, I guess you can put some demerit points on professionalism for that, but other than that, I don't think that's really something you should jab him for. But overall,
it's
he's
not
a
like
cool
he's getting
guy.
into fights with the fans or anything.
Yeah, so that's something. Anyways, anything else?
Also, well, yeah, actually, the new PR manager apparently is this person named William Chan.
Yeah, William Chan.
Although I'm looking at his Twitter right now and I can't find anything like just related to Atlus or gaming besides Overwatch, other than his most recent tweet, which says, "Why are so many people following at John Hardin? What did I do to deserve this?"
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder Was it for torches
Yeah,
being
he wonders why. But anyways, that when I think it was around 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, he made a tweet about William Chen. William Chan. Christ, I don't know the letter. I don't know the way I was reading it off. Anyways, he basically announced that he's the new guy, and I have high hopes for the guy. I mean, I don't know too much about him. All I know that he apparently works for Atlus and he knows John. What can I say?
Does he have a LinkedIn account
Again,
that
I can't
you can peruse real quick?
Yeah, I can put it on, but like I'm
You
saying,
can-
I can't. I'm scrolling through right now and I can't see anything related to Atlus.
Yeah. So honestly, like you could probably find his LinkedIn account. Other than that, John also had a LinkedIn account. Except somebody on our Mega 10 took his LinkedIn picture and memed it on there,
Yeah.
which was oh, okay. I never knew people of our Mega 10 actually went to LinkedIn. Anyways, yeah. Anything else? Nobody?
You're gonna
Not
buy
on
it,
John,
right?
no. Of course.
Of course.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
great too.
Yeah, so one of the guys in our group actually made a meme. So he went on, I think when Persona... No, it wasn't Persona, it was...
No, it was
Apocalypse.
an Apocalypse stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because people... Wait, did you pirate Apocalypse?
Yeah, I think.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
before
it wasn't Aaron. It was or I don't know, I can't remember. But he was saying that, oh, I can easily get this, but like he had not actually pirated it. He was just saying that it's been able to.
Mhm.
Like because it was been leaked, I guess, what, 10 days early or 8 days early? I can't remember.
10 days or
It was
10
like
days.
a month. I remember you guys talking about like a month early.
No, it was 10 days.
Okay.
No, it was 10 days early.
Okay.
It
Like
was 10 days early.
the game we're thinking about that's a month early was Seventh Dragon.
Yeah,
And
Seventh Dragon.
that was 2 months early.
Yeah, that was dumped at the demo stations
I remember
actually.
you also got Pokemon Sun and Moon pretty early.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
also-
like
2 weeks.
Yeah, somebody in our group played online with it, and then Nintendo, I think they like banned his 3DS or something.
actually.
To be
Here's the
put.
thing. Here's the thing. That could have been easily fixed with Linux, or sorry, yeah, just pretty much resolving packets on a network, some technical shit. But either way, that could have been resolved easily.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he went online in Pokemon
Yeah.
Sun and Moon with a pirated copy before it came out with his 3DS,
Yeah,
and then he was
and then
complaining.
they kind of like IP shadow ban from the server.
It's not an IP ban. It's an NID ban.
And an ID. Well, even no, I think it was a MAC address. I've been hearing it was a MAC address ban. Anyways, MAC address or not, that was easily solvable or whatever. Like there was like a GBA temp thread after that listed how to fix it. However, this person decided to, I don't know, he did some he got one of his friends to dump the friend code file on the 3DS, and then he used it on his 3DS, and a couple days after that it bricked. And I'm like, this is what no, there was a literal solution already. Because basically 3DSs have their own identifier, so you can't just take something from somebody else's 3DS and then put it on yours and expect it to work flawlessly. No, that's not how it works. Like, you know how Luma downgrading works? It's you have the OTP file. That's the one file that you're supposed to keep, and you can't use it on any other 3DS. Logic.
Well, the lesson is if you're going to pirate a game before release, don't go online with it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the most, like, my 3DS is hacked. I always keep it disabled. I never go online with it. mostly I play SMT4 and SMT4 Apocalypse. What can I say? That's the two main games that I go to, and sometimes Fire Emblem. So, yeah.
All right.
I guess we're done for this topic.
Yep.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we've meandered on this.
Goodbye,
Yeah.
John Hardin.
Yeah. Goodbye, man.
Press F to
It
pay
was-
respects.
Pass,
was-
press F to pay respect.
It was nice seeing you for the years you were working. So, thanks for everything, man. Really appreciate it.
All right.
All
so
right.
now it's time to move on to our main topic, and that is the music of SMT.
Yeah. So,
Why it's
music
awesome.
of SMT. I forget who really crafted it. It was now I remember. It was Tsukasa Masako. So this guy, he was the person who really just crafted the tone for the Mega 10 series ever since Megami Tensei 1 and 2. So pretty much he really just kind of set the mature tone and everybody followed suit. Of course, you guys know the well-known Shoji Meguro and his god tier composing, and of course he's
Composer of
another
the
guy.
Nocturne soundtrack,
Yeah,
and it has Strange
So
Journey
do
soundtrack.
we want to go through all of Mikuro's like SMT work game by
if you
game?
want, I'm totally fine with that. If you, if Taylor, if you're knowledgeable on that, feel free to pop in. I don't know too much about Shoji. All I know that he's done he's done the PS2 titles as well as Persona series.
The first
So-
title he worked on was Persona 1 on the PS1.
I think he also did some of the Soul Hackers soundtrack, I
Yeah.
believe.
Well,
Or
that was
he
the
thought
first
it was
title.
record.
Yeah, was that the first title?
No,
was the second.
Persona was the first title in 1996, and then he did Soul
Okay.
Hackers in '97.
Oh, okay, it was Soul Hackers. Okay, all right, gotcha. And I believe Tsukasa Masako he did the Kyoji Kusunoha Devil Summoner. I believe, or no, I honestly can't remember. But yeah, all I know that Tsukasa Masako was a consistent guy.
Yeah, nobody
with-
really ever talks about him. When people talk about SMT composers, they usually think of
Yeah, but here's the
Meguro.
thing: like Tsukasa Masako set the tone. Like he was really, I guess, the pioneer of the the composing
Exactly.
SMT.
He basically
Well, here's the
defined
thing.
SMT's music style.
Yeah,
I would disagree. I would say that Meguro's influence was way bigger, as I would like compare
Well,
him to like.
okay,
Atlus
yeah,
anyway.
we understand that Shoji is a big part. Yeah, and he obviously took that tone and crafted it. But like, if it wasn't for Tsukasa, outlining the sheet music and whatnot, and saying, "Oh, this is Mega 10," this is how it has to do.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, one thing I find interesting about Shoji Meguro is how diverse he is when it comes to composing music. Like, would you believe that the same person who composed the soundtrack for Strange Journey also composed the soundtrack for Persona 3?
honestly, not many people know what Shoji has done other than Persona,
Right,
because that's
that's
what
what I'm
he's
saying.
known for.
He
Because
also
Persona-
composed the soundtrack for
Done,
Trauma
like,
Center,
9.
Yeah.
Well.
Was
which is
it?
awesome.
Yeah, he did. He did Trauma Center. Yeah. So, yeah, Shoji's
But he
been a
did-
big.
But he did
Yeah.
inline games as well, so it's like you can mix up his styles. Like he doesn't confine himself to one set style. Like depending on like the atmosphere of the game, he'll like adjust his music accordingly.
Honestly, though, like I know he can. All he's done really, Shoji, like with Project Re Fantasy coming up, like the sample track that he did, it sounds like a mixture between his Persona composing and what he did for Strange Journey. That's what I feel like that's gonna go down with the fantasy game. But yeah, like he has a lot of styles. Like he knows how to mix and match and figure out what fits this and what fits that. But yeah, also there's another person I want to mention.
Kenji Ito.
Asano,
Who?
the composer of the Devil Survivor games.
Oh, you crapped out for a bit. What did you say?
Takami Asano, who did the Devil Survivor games.
Was it? Are you sure though? I thought it was Kenji Ito.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I thought it was Kenji Ito, unless I'm wrong.
Ito did two, but Asano did like the first one.
Okay, well I'd assumed that was the first one. But anyways, tell us more about this guy.
Kind of different in tone.
Yeah, I know. I understand the difference, but yeah, what tell us about, Devil Survivor 1 at least. I don't know, I don't know too much on him. Okay, so I thought it was Kenji Ito who did that. Okay.
We did the second one, but Asano did the first one. But we can talk about Kenji Ito and his vast array of music.
Yeah, but first off, I wanna give a shout out to what's his name? Hidehito Aoki. Hidehito did Majin Tensei and Majin Tensei 2, I believe. And he shortly, I think he died. Yeah, he died after that. He died on a business trip actually in 2002, which kind of sucked because I really liked the composition in Majin Tensei. It was really good, really good. He was also involved in the PS1 soundtrack as well. He did some. What else did he do? He did Extermination for PS2. I know he didn't do Ronde. Oh, sorry, Rond. He didn't do Rond because here's the thing: Rond was after, but I guess he had died when Rond. Actually, no, Rond was around. No, he was around because Rond was 1997 as well, right? I think.
Yeah, it was the same
Yes.
people who did Rond.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it was around the same release as Soul Hackers. So he was still alive. He didn't do it though. I'm just looking at his credits right now. So he did Summer Assault for TurboGrafx 16, Wacky Races for NES, Cheeky Machine Mo Race for Game Boy, I believe, Jante Monogatari 2 for PC Engine, Super Widget for SNES, and yeah, that's pretty much what I have listed for his credits. Honestly, but this guy was if you've listened to the Majin Tensei or Majin Tensei 2 soundtrack, this guy was amazing. Honestly, Majin Tensei had its own kind of language when it came to the music because it was just him. And I think it was the other composer, I can't remember, but he was a prominent one. But yeah, from Majin Tensei, it literally had its own type of language in comparison to other SMT games, and you will know when you play it, assuming that a translation comes out for it, because I know some people wouldn't want to play a game untranslated, but I did it, and I have no regrets because I really enjoyed every moment of it. But yeah, totally on a new level, totally on a different level when it comes to the other when it comes to the other Megami Tensei games, I'd say. But yeah, rip him. I hope down the line we'll find somebody similar to that, or I guess if there's a Devil Survivor 3,
Hopefully.
we get some callbacks to the Majin Tensei series.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of the music from Majin Tensei, and it's really good. I would have liked to hear that musical style in Devil Survivor.
Yeah, it would have been really cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get something like that for Devil Survivor 3 if we get a Devil Survivor 3.
Yeah. All right. So what else do we have to like? What composers we should recognize? I know there's
Kenji
Wait.
Ito.
we have Kenji Ito from Devil Survivor 2.
Yeah, Devil Survivor
I mean,
2,
we could talk all about Ito.
pretty good soundtrack.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
Kenji Ito actually has he actually has a pretty big musical background. Like he composed music for the Saga games, the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah. Some of the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah,
I
like
guess.
most of his work is like Square Enix stuff, like
Yeah.
Saga, Tobal Number One, Choco's Dungeon,
Yep.
Sword of Mana.
I
Final
guess they
Fantasy
couldn't-
does have some pretty kick-ass soundtracks. Not gonna lie.
I guess he couldn't come back for Record Breaker. I don't know what was up with that. Shoji had to do some new compositions.
I will say the highlight of his career was working on the soundtrack with Uematsu for Hyperdimension Neptunia Victory for PS3.
Oh no.
Oh well.
Oh,
Hey, I mean, even if that's not my favorite, title, but anyways,
that's putting it lightly.
that's yeah, that's all I can say about that. Other than that, the guy has a big musical background. Whether or not he will return for future Megami Tensei titles is totally unknown. Oh, well, his recent work is actually Puzzles and Dragons X, which is what was it? The Android game? Was it an Android game?
Have fun with your gotcha games.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I don't play that, so that's on if you played it, yeah, sure. Oh, he did Smash Brothers, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Where I guess his composition was featured. Oh, and he did it for Smash Brothers 3DS and Wii U.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
That has good soundtracks.
yeah, so he's been credited in that. So
One thing,
Kenji Ito.
yeah. So one
Yeah.
thing I think that's kind of interesting about Kenji Ito, at least according to his Wikipedia article, it says that his music is inspired from the images from the game rather than the game itself. It says he doesn't play the games he composes for, and the only games he plays are sports games.
Oh, okay. That's
He's got all this musical background in video games, yet he doesn't even play them.
you cut out.
Okay, well, what I said was he's got this big musical background in all these famous video games, yet he doesn't play them, apparently.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a shame, but he's done a good job in in Devil Survivor 2. Yeah. So Kenji Ito. There's another composer I would like to mention. Toshihiko Tasaki. She's, I guess you can say, the Yoko Shimura of Atlus. But yeah, she's done most of some SMT games, actually, older ones, I'd say. I guess, wait, let's see. Yeah, so from Devil Summoner to games like Nocturne. Yeah, so Devil Summoner, Nocturne, Persona 2, Innocent Sin, and Eternal Punishment. And yeah, that's what she's been credited for. I guess she's really worked alongside with Shoji, and so she's one of those composers that are like sub composers, I'd say. Yeah, I don't know too much about her, but all I know is she's done that.
I mean, I'd never heard of her before you just mentioned her.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing: not many people know composers because it's like you only see the big names like Shoji and Kozuka, which we should mention. Kozuka or Ryota Kozuka or Ryota Kozuka. I don't know how to pronounce his name actually. There's two ways. The way I've seen it spelt. But yeah, Ryota is the guy who does the music for SMT4 and SMT4 Apocalypse, and I believe for Persona Q. He's been credited for some Persona remixes, He's worked alongside with Shoji, so he's kind of known, not really, but if you've played SMT 4 and SMT 4 Apocalypse, you will know him hands down. Guy is amazing. I mean, who doesn't love the SMT 4 soundtrack?
SMT 4 has a kick-ass soundtrack.
I mean, honestly, when I heard that boss battle, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's repetitive. It sounds annoying," and I was like, "No, it's great. It's not like
it's
probably
the
one of
exact kind of music that gets me pumped for battle."
Yeah, it's honestly though, like his composition for both games was great. Like, though I'd feel like I really think that they should have at least played back some tracks, or at least added a little bit more for Apocalypse, instead of having the track set on a certain area. Like, you would like to listen to those tracks towards going into the game in certain areas, because if you know this, like, it's only for beginning of SMT Apocalypse where you hear the new tracks. Once you get into the main course, everything is SMT4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that really sucks, but hey, it is what it is. I like both, and I hope for SMT5 when it comes out, he does a kick-ass job. I can imagine the game just being composed by him. I can't wait to see it. That's all I can say. Who else we got? There's a lot of people mentioned here. I know I've written down some people, some obscure people.
Do you guys want to? We could talk about the singers, I guess, for Persona 3, 4, and 5.
Actually, I have one more to talk about. Actually, let me just check here. Yeah, so Atsushi Kitajo. So I guess you guys don't know about him, but he's done some Persona compositions, mainly 1 and 2, I believe. And he's done the remix soundtrack for the Hyper Rearrange for Soul Hackers. So that pre-order disc that came with the special edition. Yeah. Or sorry, the CD, the music CD. He did I believe he did every single track on there, at least.
According to his discography, it says he worked on the Persona 4 soundtrack, and then he worked on the remix soundtrack from Persona 1 and 2.
Okay, so yeah, so there you go. That's what he's been credited for. Personally, he's not bad. Like, from what I've heard from that soundtrack from Soul Hackers, though I wish they inputted them into the game rather the default was it Sega Saturn soundtrack. I'd rather them actually injected into the game, or sorry, the tracks that he remade, where he had remade the whole track. It would have gave life, like a new modern life to the game, even though it had like a dated gameplay, archaic layout. But yeah, it would have, like, if he put his music into that, honestly, Soul Hackers would have been great to play, even if it was archaic. Just a small minor things that a thing can change a game, like whether it be music or little minor touch-ups, I guess. Yeah. What else? I don't think we have anybody else to mention. Actually,
don't have any composers. We could talk about the singers for the Persona.
See, honestly, I don't know anything about them. Leave that to you.
I mean, we could talk about Lotus Juice and Ayumi Fujita.
Yeah, what do you guys think of Lotus Juice?
He's cool.
He's okay. Though I haven't played most of the Persona games, so I really don't know what tracks are my favorite or what I know. Like, I know Mass Destruction, at least. So, and Reach Out to the Truth. Favorite. So, Mass Destruction, that track, hey, it's hype. It's hype. It's good. It's good. Though I've seen from other people, they don't like the whole fast rap and all this stuff, and I'm like, and they say that Lotus Juice is like a bad rapper. But I mean, honestly, the guy he's okay. He's all right.
I mean, I'm not really that big a fan of rap, but that's probably why I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I remember a while ago when Keith was on Heretic Mansion. I remember talking to him in the chat, and he said he didn't like Lotus Juice. I'm like, oh, you don't like rap? And he's like, no, I like rap. I just don't like Lotus Juice. And I'm like, well, I don't really like rap. That's probably why I like him.
Honestly,
As
though,
someone
like,
who likes rap,
Yeah.
like I don't really understand the hype around Lotus Juice. Like his flow is okay, but it's not really that great.
there's something I would want to say about Lotus Juice. He does get a lot of credit, but he's not that. He's like, I wouldn't want to say he's second rate, because he's okay. He's an okay guy. Like, you know, keep doing your job, Lotus Juice. You're fine. It's just that you're not the best. I mean, obviously, that's saying something else, but the guy, personally wise, what I've seen of him on social media, I mean, of course, John has met him in real life.
Yeah,
but the guy is really chill.
Twice.
Yeah, the guy's really chill, and honestly, like, there's nothing wrong with him. He just sings or he raps for various Persona tracks and whatnot. So
it's
not
really
too
just
bad.
a matter of opinion. I think he's a pretty good rapper.
Yeah, honestly, you have green lights from me, Lotus Juice. So, like, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, if you're refining your rapping skills or whatnot, I'd love to hear the next composition you do with Atlus or another company, I guess, or whoever does labeling or whatnot. Taylor, you want to say anything more about?
I mean, I think he's kind of a bit overrated. Like, he seems like a cool dude and all, but like,
okay, yeah, I can understand the overrated.
From like a musical standpoint, like, he doesn't really contribute that much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing. His career is mostly limited to video game music, and that's how most people know him. I feel like he has more potential than he's using.
Yeah. So, like, honestly, the guy, if the guy
go out there and like cut like an actual album, and maybe I'd be able to judge his music a bit better.
I mean, he does have his own albums, but still, they're pretty obscure.
Yeah, they're really obscure, and not many people actually like. He's known for Persona, but that's only like people who's known him for Persona. That's it. But other than that, like, if the guy can go out and do something his own, totally fine. Like, that's fine. Like, I'm subbed to him on YouTube. He uploads sometimes, so I'll see what he has in store. But yeah, Lotus Juice. He's a good singer. Little overrated.
What do you guys think
he
of?
is overrated.
What do you guys think of Yumi Kawamura or Shihoko Hirata?
I don't know any of them.
I never heard.
Shihoko is the one
who
who is the singer in the Persona 4 soundtrack, and Yumi is the female singer in Persona 3 soundtrack. She's the one doing "Baby, Baby."
Okay. Well, I'll tell you this much.
Well,
I don't know what to say. They're okay.
I feel like me, Meguro, and Atlus should maybe try new singers every once in a while instead of like relying on the same batch that they've had for the past decade.
Yeah, you kind of cut out. You want to repeat that?
I mean, they're okay, but I think Atlus should maybe explore new singers instead of relying on the same ones they've been using for the past decade.
Well, they did get a new singer for Persona 5.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
so
Ant, you played Persona 5. What do you think of her?
I think
she's not bad. She's not bad. Though I can feel her popularity being over because of Persona 5. She's not a bad singer whatsoever. It kind of sucks because, like, she's gonna be known for Persona 5, and that's it.
Yeah.
anything else she's not going to be known for.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing when you do music for a video game. It's like it's a good way to get your career off the ground, but people everyone in the future is mostly going to know you through that.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, you did composition for Persona 5, and I'm like, and then she'll ask, have you seen my other stuff though? What are you gonna say then? What are you gonna say then? Exactly nothing. But
well, according to her discography, it says she doesn't have anything before Persona 5.
Okay,
her
so
discography on VGMDB.
I guess Persona 5 was her debut then.
I guess so.
So that's good, I guess, because I mean, honestly, she's not that bad.
Yeah, I think she's a pretty good singer. Although
first time I've heard of her though.
Yeah, so I personally like Persona 5 soundtrack. Like I've been listening to it a bit, but the thing is, it's one of those things that it's really entertaining to listen to, but then it gets old real fast.
Yeah,
But
so
that's
it's
just
like
my
it's
opinion.
like it's best when you hear it like once in a while. Like it's like something for me. Like Persona 5 is not a soundtrack I listen to. It's more of like a soundtrack I listen to when playing a video game. And that's what I experienced playing Persona 5. It's not something I would listen to on a daily basis. I don't know, it's just the way I listen to music. Sometimes I'll put on something else and play it. I'd listen to a DNB or a house or whatnot in comparison. But other than that, like Persona 5, like it's not really a sound, like it's a track you listen to once and once only. Or once when you're playing through the game, or whenever you pop in the game. That's the way I see it, or listen to. Well, yeah.
I guess like to put your thoughts into like more words, like better. So, well, I think and I've gone like jaded on video game music in recent years, but I feel like Persona OSTs in general are just like things you listen to like once, or like, oh, I'll listen to like this one song and like toss it in a playlist maybe, because some of them just feel kind of disposable without context.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. Like I remember after I got the Persona 5 soundtrack, I'd listen to it while I was working in the back of the store, and I'd listen to it while driving, but after listening to it for like a few days, I just didn't want to hear it after that. It's like, okay, this music's good, but I feel like I've heard it a million times.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know a lot of people who would enjoy the soundtrack. Of course, most of the majority of Persona 5, the Persona fan base loves that stuff.
That's the thing. They're like Nocturne soundtrack. I can listen to that over and over again, and it'll never get old.
Yeah.
Or
So-
also same with SMT4 soundtrack and Persona 2 soundtrack as well.
Do you think
Honestly-
that has something to do with Mikuro's like
Composition.
pop style compositions, where like it's all like kind of organ heavy,
Yeah.
and it kind of like just wears down on you?
Yeah, but honestly though, like I will even go back to listen to SMT4 once in a while. Like it's something like it's like if I'm on if I'm on the bus or something, or it's a long drive, I'll pop in some video game music on my phone to play, and I'll usually just go to SMT4 or Apocalypse, or even then Persona 5 if I wanted to. But even then, SMT is my go-to video game playlist.
Same.
So that's what it is for me. But yeah, like I can understand that when it comes to the Persona 5 soundtrack, it's really powerful, but it's like it's a one-time thing.
It's not
Or-
something. Well, I mean, it is, but it's
It's
something
not
you want to hear every once in a while.
Yeah, like
It has a
it's-
time and a place.
Yes, exactly. You're right. You're right when you say that. At time and place. But yeah. What else we could say when it comes to composers, or do we have any singers that we can list off, or
Well,
Not
I
really.
was
Touched on
gonna.
that.
Yeah, well, go ahead. Okay, well, I was gonna ask what, like, out of the overall soundtrack, what SMT is your favorite soundtrack-wise?
Mine probably has to
Catherine, maybe?
Oh yeah, Catherine
Because
actually
it
does
has,
have a
like-
great
Oh, yeah.
soundtrack.
be DDS
Not
1
just
and
for like
2.
the original music, it has like DDS music and like Persona stuff in it as well.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the minority of the situation, because it's a tie between Strange Journey and SMT4. So
That's kind of odd because they're like two completely different styles.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a problem, because here's the thing: I love like Strange Journey. When I was studying hard back in high school, I would listen to that. That helped me study for some reason. I don't know why, but listening to the Strange Journey soundtrack helped me study and like kept me focused. Now, like that's what I remember it for. It was so like whenever I wanted to study, I would play Strange Journey's soundtrack, and then when it was SMT4, I would listen to it casually. So it's like
Strange Journey.
it's got-
that there's like a wide range of music stylistically in there. Like some of it feels like Shoji Meguro stuff, and then other stuff just feels more, I don't know, epic, I suppose. So it's kind of like jarring going through that OST from like one song to the next.
yeah, I mean it's got its different tones.
To it.
But yeah, like it's the Strange Journey soundtrack is really, really, in a sense, like it helps me. Like I don't know, for some reason, it kept me in the mood of studying, so I played it. And then when I played SMT4, it was usually mostly for casual listening. So it's a tie between the two.
Well, I think my favorite SMT for soundtrack, honestly, I'd probably say Persona 2.
Are we talking Innocent Sin or Eternal Punishment here?
Well, I mean, I haven't really heard the soundtrack. Well, I've listened to a couple of the soundtracks from Eternal Punishment on YouTube. It's kind of the same style as Innocent Sin, but I think Innocent Sin just has a great soundtrack, and it also has my favorite soundtrack from the whole series, which is the Knights of the Holy Lance theme.
Yeah, I've like kind of glanced at Persona 2 soundtrack in general.
Like when that music starts playing, it plays in the perfect situation. It just gets you so pumped.
You cut off. Sorry.
Okay.
Like I completely just didn't hear you.
Okay, what I said was that soundtrack, it plays in the perfect time. Like the time it plays is perfect, and it just gets me so pumped when I hear it in the game.
Yeah, like honestly, like when I heard the Holy Lance theme, like, goddamn, it was really good. It was really good. Like, I mean, obviously, I was spoiling myself on the game, but I was like, oh, the soundtrack. When I first listened to it.
And on top of Persona, like other Persona 2 soundtracks, the ones you listen to in the shops, they're kind of the same song, but they're like different remixes of it. Like there's more than 100 different soundtracks in Persona 2 Innocent Sin. So there's really a lot of variety with all the soundtracks, and the soundtracks that plays in the shops, it's just really relaxing. Like it's the kind of thing I'll listen to while I'm studying.
Yeah.
But in that battle theme though, that's pretty hype.
Yeah.
Like
that's something
battle theme too.
Yeah.
Although I do think the background music is a bit better. Like if my life could have a soundtrack, I'd want it to be Persona 2 soundtrack.
Oh. Well, for me, I don't know. If my life had a soundtrack, I honestly don't know what it could be. Sorry. I mean, it could be something from Persona, because the things that you life is more lighthearted than something that you would experience in SMT. So I don't know how it would match up with my lifestyle. Just saying.
Well, what if, like that tangent, did you maybe consider Tokyo Mirage sessions?
Oh, no.
Okay. This is, there's something I would like to state about Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Because I genuinely like that OST.
It's okay. The vocal soundtracks are too empowering to the point where it's like, as a person who likes to play Japanese games that are not into idol worshipping and type of things, it's really just it's it's really uncomfortable, I should say. Like, most of the vocal scenes I've seen from Tokyo Mirage Sessions I've skipped over because I always had this uncomfortable feeling listening to it. And I always had this uncomfortable...
some music is kind of cringe, but like...
I understand that.
But it's
like
pretty catchy,
like,
to be honest.
Yeah, it's cat. Okay, I'll tell you the main theme is catchy.
To be honest.
There are a couple songs that will get stuck in your head.
Yeah, there's some of them. But like, Tokyo Mirage Sessions soundtrack is not something where I would jam full blast in my house and then have my parents come home to hear that and be like, what the fuck are you listening to, man?
Kids and their Spanish pop music.
Like,
actually, that's what my dad would
you
probably
wouldn't want
say.
to have Reincarnation blaring on like a stereo.
I would have it. I would. Okay. I would have for the memes. I would have Carnation blasting through my car speakers.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I've done that with my girlfriend a few times.
Here's the thing.
People
I
gave us
would
weird
do
looks
that.
too.
I would only do that because it's gonna be funny because I would get people just looking at me weirdly.
Yeah, that's what
It's
we
like,
did.
hey, look at that weeaboo playing that fucking that anime music.
We're like an old man, just kids and their Spanish pop music.
Practice parents would be so triggered by it.
But yeah, that's honestly that's what I could say about Tokyo Mirage Sessions soundtrack. Like, nothing else I could say about it. Most of the scenes make me really uncomfortable, in a sense where it's like I don't want to watch it. Or sorry, well, I don't want to listen to it. It's more of the type of thing. Pretty much the tone of Tokyo Mirage Sessions when it comes off trope-wise is something I'm not really accustomed to. Because I'm not really accustomed to watching anime like Sword Art Online, which is fan servicey. And because I don't watch it for that same reason. And I mean,
I think a better comparison would be something like Love Live.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh.
That too. That's the one I was forgetting. But yeah, I'm not really accustomed to the whole idol worshipping or, trope behind that. So I'm not used to it. I can't
What
really.
you're saying is you haven't gone full weeb, so you can't relate.
I've seen
Yes, I don't know. I don't know if it's called a weeb playing untranslated games, but whatever. It is what it is. I mean, I'm playing
Persona 5 until it gets dual audio.
I mean, I don't really care about Persona 5 getting dual audio or whatnot. The goddamn game has been delayed. And it's been delayed for no reason whatsoever. Like, there's no viable reason.
It has like English audio for once.
The only reason was just Alice dicking around through development. And the localization, well, we talked about this last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, I guess that's it for the whole composition topic. The whole music topic. What about questions?
I am going to get to that. Unfortunately, we didn't get that many questions this week. I think I'm probably going to start posting the questions thread earlier so that we'll get more of them.
Yeah, that's something we should do. Like, have it like at the start of the week, and then just pin it for the rest of the days. And then
Terrence, do you have a question?
Wait, me?
Why
Do
would
you?
Terrence have unless Terrence did make a question on that? I don't know.
All right, so okay, first question. Matt asks, "Do you feel that the music of a SMT game helps to make the atmosphere of the game?" I mean, yeah.
Well, it depends on the game, really. I
Oh
think
yeah.
It depends on the
perhaps
game,
some
but
of
at the
these games,
same
yes.
time, like what we were saying before about Tsukasa Masako setting the tone for SMT, it is important. It really is important. That's what makes SMT SMT because of the themes and the visual themes that go with it, and then the audible themes that goes with it as well. Like you can't have the other type of thing. Like you can't have this. I don't know what you could say, but like you can't have like a light composition on something that's really dark and gritty.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't say the Persona 4 soundtrack would work with Nocturne or something like that.
No,
Or
because
Strange Journey.
Persona 2 has its own. Yeah, like if you were to swap soundtracks of various SMT games and see how that worked, it would be like, oh, Strange Journey with SMT4's soundtrack. I don't know how that would
Would
work.
not work.
Like,
Although I will say that the final boss theme in Persona 4 does sound a lot like something you'd hear in Strange Journey.
oh, that's yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played through Persona 4, so I don't know. But yeah, I can understand that. Like, a grand boss battle. Like even Persona 5's. I'm not gonna say more. That's spoilers. For music at least. I don't know if I should say it. Or actually, just put a spoiler marker on here. Actually,
Okay.
but yeah, Persona 5's end game boss sounds a lot like what you would get from Strange Journey as well. So you're not wrong when you say Persona 4's boss is the same way because it technically it still has that organ feel to it, and that I guess the lawful beat, but not really. I don't know how to explain it. But it's really grand and just filled with victory. Like it's a victory type of music, you know. And then you have the ups and downs, the compositions as well. Honestly, the only musician here that can really describe it scientifically is Taylor, right? Since you do music for a profession, sorry.
Yeah, well, I think like for older Tensei, yeah, it gives like some of the atmosphere, but I feel like for some of the later games, like Persona 4 specifically, like some of it's more throwaway, more so than it like does to enhance the game.
Yeah.
Like some of the songs off those OCs are like generally good, but then others just kind of there. Like they're serviceable at best.
Well, yeah, the thing about Persona 4 is like the game tries to be dark in some situations, but overall the soundtrack is just so incredibly cheery. It's like that's not how most people see the game.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, in the opening for Golden, like they're playing that really cheery song, and they have dead bodies hanging from power lines or
Oh yeah.
telephone poles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that called? Shadow's World?
Yeah, Shadow World.
Name dumb too. G.
I wouldn't say that's like down to the compositions being bad, more so perhaps not playing like the right music with like the right tone that the game is trying to convey.
Exactly. But yeah, and then he asked, do you think that soundtracks only work with the individual games, or do you think that they could be interchangeable between games? And we just inadvertently answered that, but like I said, it depends on the game.
For an example where certain songs will fit in any game.
Well, yeah. Like, if you were to switch the soundtracks for SMT4 and say Nocturne, they'd probably still work pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah,
that's was that the only one question, or
no, there's two more.
Oh, there's more? Okay.
Yeah. Shin asks, on how many layers of irony do you think Shoji Meguro was when he decided to use text-to-speech voices for the vocals of Nocturne's battle themes?
I've never played
didn't know he
so I
did
can't
that,
comment.
but that's interesting.
I don't know. I feel like that fucking question is just a meme in itself. Unless it is, then I'd be surprised.
I mean, it sounds pretty good in the soundtrack.
Yeah, but here's like the way how people deciphered it was like they had to mute the background, or how they did was they grabbed because the way how the PS2's soundtrack was actually, it was layered, so you would have one piece of the track playing, and then you'll have another piece, and then you'll have the vocal piece, and then obviously those will be called in the game's data to when you enter the battle. And sometimes when you enter a battle into Nocturne, it'll play, and then and then when you retreat right away, and then you encounter another one, another demon, it plays where the track left off in that previous battle, which I thought was pretty cool because of the whole, the layered track or whatnot.
Well, I mean, the only vocal soundtracks I can recall from Nocturne was the one that was like,
well, you had the normal battle that was, I think the Fiend battle also had it, and I think the boss battle as well had it.
Okay, so for the normal battle, like, because it's supposed to be kind of ethereal, which is what I take from it, like, the fact, like, how it's mixed into it, even if it was, like, text-to-speech, like, that would make sense if
it was, and then they had to kind of just, like, blur it out and kind of, like, make it something real, I guess. I don't know. But if it was text-to-speech, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Although, do you guys remember Aggressive Tune from Devil Survivor? Like
yes,
the sound
I believe
of the music that plays when you're grinding, where it goes like, "Accept your might, you are."
Yeah.
That's what it says.
It's something like that. It really had the weird vocals. It's time to fight or something. I don't know. That's what I heard from it.
If they use text to speech for that too. So
well, for that song in particular, like, the DS doesn't really compress sound properly. Well, when they're making games for it, like, the cartridge capacity.
It was sequenced.
So the compression was kind of shit anyway.
Yeah.
So
they relied on sequence file format and MIDI file as well.
Well, it sounds pretty good for a cartridge-based soundtrack.
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you, Shin, for your question. And the last question, Alan asks, have you praised the Lord and Savior, Lord Tachikana? Also, thoughts on how music inspire SMT3.
Who?
I don't know. I'm not sure who Lord Tachikana is.
I really don't know. Unless it's like
inspired Nocturne. I haven't played Nocturne, can't comment.
Yeah, I haven't finished Nocturne, as surprising that may sound. Like I said, I'm working on finishing up the older Megami Tensei games before I move on to the newer ones. Though I feel like I might probably drop that
before I play Nocturne,
because I feel like I might dive in a little bit and then try to finish up the PS2 stuff, because it's just there. I mean, it's translated.
Yeah.
Might as well play it. Like, I don't know. I have this weird rule that, like, I have to finish once I start like a older Megami Tensei game. I have to finish it, so I don't know. It depends. Whenever I get to it, I'll get to it. But yeah,
I mean, you need to play Witcher 3 before you get to Nocturne.
please.
Yeah.
I'll play a little bit of Witcher 3 at least. Witcher 3 is really a big game to digest, though. That's what I can say.
It's like 200 hours.
Yeah,
You
at
could
least.
speedrun the game in like 20 hours.
Yeah, 20 hours if I just kept my eyes glued to the TV and have no, distractions whatsoever, not
Wait,
get bored.
Wait, Taylor, that with or without side quests?
I said that's why I said 200 with
well-
side quests, like 200.
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Well, some of the side quests are kind of required in order to progress in the story, so depends.
It's a Western RPG, Terrence. Side quests are going to be a thing.
Memes. Well, anyways,
But-
I guess, yeah,
Well,
pretty much.
Especially the tree quests, like that's a key determining factor.
yeah.
True.
Well, to answer his questions about how music inspired SMT3, which is Nocturne, I mean, I can't really think of anything I've heard of that's similar to Nocturne. I just say that the music from the older SMT games inspired it.
Yeah, even then, it just goes back to Tsukasa really just
Right.
setting the tone, right? Because, even in SMT1 and SMT2, like there is those references in SMT3 Nocturne. So it's honestly like it's pretty much it's always been like an evolving factor when it came to the soundtrack. They will look at SMT1 and then pull stuff from SMT1 and use it into another game. Reference elements, whatnot, and they'll do the same for 2 and whatever going on for it. So I guess that's how it worked.
Right.
I don't know if that answers his question.
Well, thank you, Alan, for your question. All right, so is there anything else you guys want to talk about? think we're
No,
done.
I guess we're pretty much done.
Yeah.
Unless, yeah. So
All
pretty
right.
much.
Thank you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.